The hidden room in the Library of Congress marked and no inhuman origins. No one knows how long the room has been there. Some say it was built before the Library of Congress was even finished. Others claim it appeared one day in the blueprints, but wasn't there in the physical building. What's known for sure is that deep in the archives, behind shelves of books no one checks anymore, behind a steel door with no handle, there is a small brass plate. It simply reads, "Non-Human Origins." For years, rumors swirled among librarians and researchers. Some dismissed it as a prank. Others said it was a restricted storage vault. But a few whispered about the employees who were transferred, questioned, or fired after they got too curious. Nobody stayed in that section of the library for long. Cameras near the area always seemed to glitch. Even the blueprints online had the room digitally blurred. That was until someone leaked a map. It showed a tunnel beneath the library, connected to a private reading chamber. The room marked non-human origins was circled in red. The source of the leak was unknown. No name, just a USB left on a Capitol Hill journalist's desk. Most called it fake. But one man didn't. Elias Monroe, a 38-year-old document analyst and ex-NSA cryptographer. He had been researching government anomalies for years. This one felt different. Elias was careful. He studied the building for weeks. He discovered that the room was never listed on maintenance logs, had no electrical access listed, and didn't exist on internal personnel maps. He believed this wasn't just a room. It was a hidden archive, one the government didn't want anyone to know about. One rainy Tuesday, Elias walked into the Library of Congress with a forged researcher badge and a small device hidden in his bag, a low-frequency scanner used for finding dense materials behind walls. For 3 hours, he browsed books, slowly making his way to the Eastern archives. The shelves grew older, dustier. The air was cooler. Fewer people passed by. Eventually, he found the wall. The scanner beeped, a hollow echo behind concrete. There was a space, and it didn't match any known room. There was also an electromagnetic signal, weak but consistent. Elias slid his hand along the wall, tapping. Then he saw it, a small panel, perfectly flush with the surface. He pressed it. Nothing happened. He tried again. Suddenly, there was a soft click. A section of the wall shifted backward and slid open. Inside was a narrow hallway. Dim red lights lined the ceiling. The air smelled like metal and old paper. Elias stepped in. The door slid shut behind him. He wasn't locked in, but he couldn't see any way to open it again. At the end of the hall was another door. This one had no handle either, but as he approached, it opened automatically. Beyond it was a small room filled with glass cases. But these weren't ordinary artifacts. Inside were things Elias couldn't explain. One case held a thin, metallic sphere floating midair, spinning slowly, glowing faintly green. Another had a book, not written in English or any known language, but something that looked etched into the paper like circuitry. There were bones, too, shaped like no creature known to science. Tall, thin skulls with elongated eye sockets, ribs that curved backward, joints in places no human had. Elias took out his phone to record, but it wouldn't turn on, completely dead. Then he saw it, a black folder on a pedestal, marked simply, Project Cloak Harbor. He opened it. Inside were reports signed by military officials, scientists, even U.S. presidents. The oldest page dated back to 1935. The documents described objects found in Antarctica, hidden structures buried in ice, inscriptions matching no Earth language. One report described a crash in the Pacific, 1947, before Roswell. Recovered beings, not dead, but frozen in a type of stasis. They weren't referred to as aliens. The term used was the architects. The file claimed these entities seeded Earth with genetic code. They weren't invaders. They were caretakers. And they returned at regular intervals. The last recorded contact, 2004. The meeting had been classified as a deep-sea sonar anomaly. Suddenly, a screen on the wall lit up. It showed footage, grainy black and white, of one of the architects. It stood over 9 feet tall, with skin like liquid metal and no mouth. It communicated through light and sound. The video had no audio, but Elias could feel something from it. A pressure in his skull. A warning. Then the lights cut out. Red emergency lights flashed. A soft alarm echoed through the hall. A voice came over speaker. Calm. Robotic. Unauthorized presence detected. Countermeasures initiated. Elias turned to run, but the hallway now had a second door, one that wasn't there before. He sprinted through. It led him to a storage room near the sub-basement, one that did exist on the maps. But when he turned back, the hallway was gone, just a solid wall. Security found him minutes later. They questioned him, but said nothing about the room. No charges, no accusations, just a cold warning. You were never there. There is no such room. Elias tried going back, but the wall was smooth now. No panel, no signal. The blueprint he had, deleted from every device. The journalist he got it from, missing. But he remembered everything. And 1 year later, he leaked the files online. Not all of them, just enough to prove it was real. But within hours, the files were scrubbed. Every upload is deleted. Every server hosting them taken offline. Still, the rumors grew. People claimed to see strange lights over the library at night. One janitor reported hearing humming behind the eastern wall. Another said they found pages shredded in a trash bin with symbols not from any language they knew. Now, a small group of truth seekers meets online under the name the Non-Human Origins Project. They believe Elias. They believe the room still exists. And they think something is waking up. Because last week, the Library of Congress quietly closed its Eastern archives. No reason given. And the staff who worked there? All replaced.